probably a bit ahead of schedule, to be honest with you, in terms of getting us back to consistently being where Texas, where we expect Texas to be. But I do think there is an element of patience. You know, I look no further. I lean on Coach Sweeney at Clemson quite a bit. I think it took him, 7 years, something like that, to win his first national championship. Coach Brown at Texas was the same. I'm not saying we're setting the bar at 7 years, but what I'm saying is we want to win championships, and we want to win them now. But we were brought here to rebuild a program, and that takes time. We weren't here to just have a really good season in year 2. We were here to rebuild a program and sustain, that's capable of sustaining success, and we feel like we're on our way there.
Question on the aisle, right side.
Coach, Curtis Quillen, KCEN in Temple. Zach Shackelford has been kind of a staple on your offensive line since you walked onto the campus. What are you looking for from him this season, and what's different about him now than when you first got to Texas?
Well, he's bigger and stronger. I can tell you that. He's healthier. You know, he went through some ankle issues early when we got here. He is a tremendous leader, and you look no further than his family. I believe his father, two-parent home. Father is a chaplain in the military, so very disciplined young man that is probably, him and Sam Ehlinger are probably our 2 most vocal leaders offensively, and so we're proud to have him. We think he's as good a center as there is in the country. He's brilliant when it comes to making the calls. The center is kind of the quarterback of the offensive line, and he's really the glue that holds that group together.
We got a question on the left side, 3rd row.
Coach, Ian Boyd from Inside Texas. Last year, the offense was often defined by having Andrew Beck, who could block a defensive end one play, then motion out the next and get little Jordan Humphrey matched up on a linebacker. But both are now gone, so who will define the offense in 2019?
I don't know who would define the offense. I think that's a very subjective statement that you made in terms of the offense being defined by Andrew Beck and what he was able to do. But I think our offense will be very similar. We feel like Cade Brewer is an excellent replacement for Andrew Beck. Obviously, Andrew was a 2-time captain and first-team all-conference player, so those are some pretty big shoes to fill. And the same with L.J. Humphrey. I mean, enormous shoes to fill. But we feel like our depth and talent at receiver is such that we feel that is a position of strength for us. And then we feel like Cade Brewer, Cade started most of the season as a true freshman, having played wide receiver in high school. And then, boom, you get to college and you're playing tight end at whatever he was at that time, probably 220 pounds. Now he's 250 pounds and can do a lot of the things similarly to Andrew.
We got a question on the aisle over here. We're going to take another one there and then back to this side.
Wendell Barnhouse, PressBoxDFW.com. Sort of a follow-up about the tight end position. Why and how is it so important to the offense? I mean, Andrews, I think a lot of people maybe overlooked. I know the staff didn't overlook, but his play and contribution last year really kind of was pretty important to the offense, correct?
Extremely important. Yeah, we define our offense as a pro spread. We're gonna run NFL concepts in the run game in terms of inside zone and power and counter. We're gonna run NFL concepts in the passing game, NFL concepts in our protections. The only difference is we're going to do it from the shotgun, and we're going to make defenses have to defend a mobile quarterback. And so I think, we're not one of those fun and gun, chuck and duck, whatever you want to call it, 4 wide receivers, throw it every snap, and run a draw here and there. You know, we want to be a power running team, and we're slowly building that, and having a dominant tight end certainly helps along the way.
Question on the second row.
To your right, Coach. Otmar Richardson from Orange Bloods and Rivals.com. Coach, it's been since 2011 since Texas has played Texas A&M. Do you want to see this rivalry renewed? And if so, what needs to happen for this game to be played again?
Well, I'd love to see the rivalry renewed. I think it's great for college football. It's great for Texas. You know, there's plenty of other intrastate rivals that are in different conferences that find a way to play each other. Clemson, South Carolina, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Florida, Florida State, Iowa, Iowa State. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so the second part of your question, I don't know what needs to happen because I don't know what happened in 2011. I wasn't in those meetings. But I do think that, you know, if we've got some really smart people in both universities' administrations, we could find a way to make that game happen. And I think it'd be great for Texas fans. You know, we don't play a historic rival at home anymore, ever. We got to drive to Dallas to play our lone remaining historic rival. And then for our players, you know, I'd much rather know that every other year our longest non-conference road game is going to be 2 hours down the road instead of getting on a plane to Los Angeles to play a night game in Pacific time, or flying to Columbus, Ohio, or Gainesville, Georgia, or Gainesville, Florida. So to answer your question, certainly would love to see it. I think it'd be great for recruiting. It'd be great for the families of our players to be able to drive to a non-conference road game. But the second part of your question, I have no idea what needs to happen to make that happen.
We have 3 questions on this side. Over here on the left, Coach.
Hey Tom, Brian Davis, Austin American Statesman. When you heard Baker Mayfield and Terry Bradshaw's comments, were you just excited, over the moon, like this is the best thing that could have happened for someone to crap on your quarterback like that?
I don't know if excited was the first emotion, but you know, I heard it. I mean, it'd be lying to you if I told you I don't know what you're talking about. I certainly do, but it's irrelevant. You know, what other people say about us and our program doesn't really faze us, and so the irrelevancy of it, you know, was at an all-time high. You know, I do know, you know, our guys, they file certain things away. You know, we had a bowl game recently where, you know, the other team was very disrespectful, and that gave us some motivation leading up to the bowl game. And you know, Sam loves to play with a chip on his shoulder, and I'm sure he'll use this to crank it up a notch. But it is, again, it's pretty irrelevant in terms of how it affects our program. We're worried about our program.
And taking Sam, if you set Sam aside for a second, what are you most excited about with the rest of the offense?
Well, the development of the run game. Certainly, I think our offensive line has a chance, if we stay healthy, to be as good as we've had here in our 3 years. And the tailback position, Keontae Ingram, this is a true freshman that rushed for over 700 yards, unlimited carries, because he missed some games due to injury. And he had another really good player in Trey Watson playing with him in the same spot. And he's also put on 15, 20 pounds of you know, what we call, you know, armor to hopefully, because that's a very violent position, one that takes a pretty good beating. So he understood that he needs to pack on that muscle to try to stay healthy throughout the season. And then I think the second year in the system, he's become a lot more patient. I think he's understands also when a run is blocked for 4 yards, go get the 4 yards. Don't try to hit a home run every time. And then the emergence of Jordan Whittington has been remarkable. I've never seen in my 22 years coaching a young man have never played a certain position, even in high school, to come in and say, hey kid, you're going to play tailback for us, at least for this season, if not longer, and say yes sir, and he took to it like a fish to water and is very natural at it, and we're really excited about him as well.
Got a question on that, Kurt?
Yeah, Kurt Bowles from the Austin American. You say you're going to win with great defenses. Obviously, you had some struggles there last year. How much closer are you getting to becoming that type? And I'm asked to ask you to give an update from my question last year if you had a different answer.
The answer would be the same. It would just be with a lot less thought. But we have some. Not all of our 85 scholarship players are at championship level yet, but we certainly have enough that if we play our best and we develop the way that we think we can, that we can compete for a championship, certainly. And yeah, we need to make improvements on defense. We've recruited very well on that side of the ball. We've developed them in the weight room very well. We're going to be very young. There's no secret to that. But young and talented is better than young and not talented, I can tell you that. So we got to find a way to get the best 11 guys on the field. I think that's important as well, regardless of what position they play. But we feel good. We feel like Todd Orlando's, the cream of the crop when it comes to defensive coordinators in this league. And I have no doubt that we'll get better simply by an infusion of talent and another year of development in our system.